Welcome you guys to Make Them Tech. Today we are going to look at something very interesting, something that every programmer out there would love to see, especially those that are learning React. And this tutorial today is the simplest way to do application in React and Node. We're just going to do something the simplest way to build application in React and Node. And what is a to-do application? A to-do application allows you to create a list of what you would like to achieve within the 24 hours of a day. And React, as you all know, is a front-end library for manipulating the DOM with data. And then you can use it to create SPA, single page application. And our Nodejs is a platform for running server-side JavaScript. We are familiar with that for those of us that have started using Node. And then we have a very common framework we use for Node, and that is Express. And that's what we're going to be using in this tutorial. We're going to use CRA, create React application for React, and also Express generator for Express framework. So thank you. Let's get started. Yes, this is opening in my brackets code editor. So what I need to do now is to download the CRA. So npx create React. So you can install this as a global application, as on your this thing you put your G flag, or you install it locally. So I prefer local installation. So let's install now. This is our React client folder. React and other label reside inside this folder. So let's open these two apps, brackets. Okay, so this is what we have. So let's create a server folder. That will house our Express framework. So now let me Express generator. You can install by globally by putting the G flag, but I would like to install it locally. Okay, so so it's now just cut it. Yes. Okay, that's our server. So we paste this as server, and go back to so then the npm proceed to our server. Then before we do that, our package.json, then we need to download the Lowdb. So as this is to do. Okay, there's this. Okay, so let's download now. npm. Why this is not another thing that we want to do to run React on as in run it servers currently. So let me package that is concurrent to, so you can copy and so okay, so C client np start cd server or this. So these are commands that makes you to the concurrent modules to run. So this is for server and this for the okay. So then I'll install that of concurrent module. Okay, so that's all. Okay, the next thing to do is to let me cd back to this, then npm install. So it will come. Yeah. So while this is going on, there's another thing I want to put across. Our server, our Express server is running on 3000, React server 2 is running on port 3000. So we need to change that of Express, or you change that of React, any of the two, but conveniently we can change that of Express. So what we need to do is just to go to this, we go to our www, then from this point you try to locate your var port is equal to normal port, and then you just change it to 100. Okay, so that's, and then for okay, this is that of okay, then we want a situation whereby our client communicate with our server. So we need to do something here, like we need to have a proxy property to our package.json, the client that is to be gp 3000. All the so yes, mode. So okay. Done. I know if you want to change that of let's put rather I consider this was the most convenient anyway. So we are good to go. So what we need to just to start npm start. So let me open up. Yes. Now we want to create a to-do list application. So let's create a folder called post.js, and then so let's write our first code. This is app.js and this is index.js. So here now we're going to create like two components. Let's just get started directly. Import React. Okay, let me put component from React. So I think that's all. So now I want to write a function component, function form area props. So whenever you are writing JSX, this is JSX that I'm writing. If you are writing more than 2 elements, HTML elements, you have to wrap them up inside a div, and that is what I've just done now. So now you can call this place to do list. let's just call it to-do list, and then let's close our bracket. Then we are going to have a text box here. This order, let's call it title, and then let's have a text area, text area, text area, text area, and here we're going to, okay, let's put a placeholder also, placeholder, that is, let's put what to do, what to do. Okay, so then let's put, oh sorry, and let's put our button, and let's call it add. Yeah, so with this now we can okay, so I think this is okay. So let's create, okay, let's try to style our JXX. So let me put something here called style. When you are styling, you need to use double curly brackets, padding, so let me use 15. Yeah, so then for this, let's use a width of style. Yes, width, let's just use 300, and then let's use the same for our text area. Okay, so then for our button too, let's just use this 300, not too much, let's just put it at 100. Okay, so then let's write for the post area. This time around, just to make you understand another way by which you can write a component. So I'm going to write a class component now. So class post area, then extends component. So there is a life cycle that is being used in React called render. That is to render your JXX. So then I will now use the return. Yeah. So now I'm going to write my first div. Don't forget, when you are writing more than one element, you have to wrap it inside a div. Okay, so then the next thing is to put my h1. Let me just call it list of what to do. So let me call it h1. So then the next thing is to create a space for the, okay, let's just call it P, where our application is going to, where the list of what we are going to showcase. We are yes, this as in when we make a post, then the post will appear inside this place. Okay, so I think we are done, we are okay. So let's export let's export that form area, then next thing posts area, and that's all. So let's go to our app here. Okay, so let's okay, let's import So since we are not importing a default name, so we're just importing, we are not exporting any default whatever, so we put it inside the curly bracket. So let's put our form area, and our post area. So from our posts, so okay, so yeah, okay, okay, coming. So let me change this to a class. That's class app. Okay, for now let's even see our application. Let's see how it looks like even before that. Okay, so you come here to pass your form area. So then come here to pass our post area. So for now we are good to go. So let's check our application out. Okay, like I said the other time, when you are writing more than two more than two elements, yes, you have to wrap it up in a div. Okay, so it's going to be like this. So let's look at, whoa, I think this is very nice, right? I think this is nice. So I need to style this so that it will. Okay, so let me run back to this place. We need to style you this div here. Let's style our div here. Okay, and then our text here. So command, let me put the height. Let's call it 300 also. So I think that's good. Okay, I hope 300 is not too much. It's too much. Just make it, and I think it's okay. So now let's continue. So let's proceed to the next step by making our application functional. We want a situation whereby someone can click the button here and the message will be sent to the server and the response from the server will be rendered to the client. So now it means that we are going to be dealing with data. There is something I want to get across to us here about React. You see, React uses props and state to manage data flow, to handle data. Then your data comes from the server or wherever it's coming from, so you need to be able to pass it around. And what React uses here is props and state, or let's say by extension derived properties. So there's something I want us to understand here about props. You see, props is something that can be passed by a parent component to its child component, and there's something peculiar about props. It's immutable. You can't change it. So once you set it, that's all. And that is where state comes in. So when you talk about state in React, it's something that can be used to at least to manage dynamic data. So your state is something that is mutable. You can change it using set state. Then there's something you need to know about state too. It's a private feature of a component. It belongs to a single component. So it's a situation by that component manages its own state. So, and now that we're going to be using data from one point to the other, so we need to bring in props, we need to bring in states. So that's just that is what you are seeing here. These are child components, and you know we've already created the parent. So, and the parent props can be passed down to the child component here. So that's just that. So let's try to make no. So what we have is a functional status component. So we need to make it a kind of stateful components, and that's why we need a class. Though recently with this React hooks, you can still use state now, but for the time being, because we are using the normal React class component, function component, so we are going to bring in class here. So let me try to import from component. So now let's change this to class, then extends, then components. So now we can bring in our state now. So we need to use constructor function to initialize our state in React. So that's what I want to do now. Constructor, so props and super props. So this, okay, let me just, okay, this dot state is equal to, so our can now put post. So when we send our data to the server, the response from the server will be saved inside this post. So we put it inside the state, and then from time to time we can change it. So this is an array, and that's all. Okay, so this is what we have, and then since we need to use a method to send our message down to the server, it also means that we need to bind a kind of method to our constructor. So what we do is that you see this constructor is zone is just to initialize the data and the event that we want to use in our component. So, and that's why we need to put, let me just say this dot add is equal to this dot add dot bind. So we bind this now. So that's it. So with this now, we can return to our components, our parent components. So let's use the prop here. So now our props is coming on here. Let's say on click. So on click, that's going to be on click. So we're going to pass. So that's props dot add. So we can see it here now. So what we are doing here is that you see the add here, it is just like a property. So this is like we are calling the property here, and the property here we have already set it here as a method. So do you understand now? Yes. So okay, so now we are here too. So we need to now pass the props down to our child components, and to go about that, so we have to bring in our this. Okay, so it's going to be add this, let's add. So just exactly what we are doing here. So here now our on click event is ready. So once we fire add, and this one, oh sorry, it's not 100% ready. We need to now write the add method. We need to code the add method. So let's do that now. So, and how do we go about that? We have to send a message to the server using fetch API. So let's create our fetch API. Okay, let's use user. Should we call it user or users? Let's just call it user. Users, right? So we have to use an HTTP method here called post. So command, then we bring in our what we call headers. So here it will be content type, then it gives us application JSON. Okay, so then the last one will be body. So our body. So we are sending the JSON type of data to the server. So because of that, we have to stringify the object we are sending. So title. So that will be document dot query selector. Then that gives us, let's just use input, right? Oh, sorry, input. So and then dot value. Okay, so then the next one, let's call it content. So let me just copy this, and this would be text area, and that's all. So now we need to resolve, when you fetch API actually returns a promise, so we have to resolve and then render our data. So rest the JSON. So then the next one will be to extract our data. That's data. So from here now we have, so I think the first thing we need to do is to just empty this. Once our data goes through and comes back, then the next thing to do is to actually, okay, I think we are okay. Oh, sorry. So we have to set this to an empty string. Okay, so then let's try to update our state. Yes, data state. So bring in our set state. This dot set state. So now we need to reverse our data. We want the latest post to appear at the top. Yeah, so that's the okay. Yeah, so it will now be catch. So let's catch. Yeah, good to go now. So now I can see that our add method is ready. So yes, so let's go back to post. So now the data inside our post needs to be rendered, and how will it appear on our clients, that is at the post area? So that's why we need to bring in something like map. So we map the data out and then distribute it. So let's do that now. So that's going to be this dot props dot post. Okay, h2 this x dot x dot. Oh, this should be title. X dot content. Okay. I want a situation whereby when we style white space, we want to render directly like how it is written, rewrap. So you can see it now. So let's go to, I think we are done here. So this dot props, when you are working within a class you need to put this, but once it's a function you just put props dot add, so you don't need this here, but for class you need this. So the recent is ES7 or ES8, there is a way you write your class and then you don't need this again, but for now we are using ES6. So let's go to our child component. So we have to pass our this here. That's what did we use here? We still use post right? Okay, post right, post, and we use add here. So our post, so that's going to be this dot state dot post. So we see our post is here, so we pass it here to our child component. So that's our props. So let's try to see what we have done now, and then let's try to see that. Line 40. So we have, you can't use return directly inside a class component. See, we have changed to class component here. We're formally using a function component. So I have to bring in a life cycle called render. To do that now, render. So then after that, then I bring in my return. So then we are good to go. It's line 19. Line 19 of post. What issue do we have here? Oh, sorry, I was using a double listing. Yes, so you use double when you're dealing with inline styling, but for expressions and all this, you just use a single business. Okay, so yeah, okay. Now let's go to our server side, and then we need to do some configuration. We need to write some code. So let's go to our user dot js. Let's go to users dot js. So yeah, we need our Lowdb. Let's bring in our database sharp. Require. So that's going to be Lowdb. So we have to set up our config db. So here's that. Okay, so I'm going to set it up. So let me just write it. Config db require Lowdb config then db. So what we want to do is this. So okay, so just as we have this now, let me just okay, so let me just come here, create a folder called config. So okay, so then our router, default. So this is Lowdb setup. That's how you do that. Post. So that's right. So Lowdb uses a Nodejs syntax API. So it's very powerful. And if you want to write a simple application, a simple crude application, you can use can simply use what's it called, Lowdb. So I wanted to do something. Okay, so yes, inside this place we have to create db.js, isn't it? Yeah. So here we just have to const file sync. Okay, still have to create a database. Okay. Okay, still let me create that here. Just call it D. So let me just call it D. Oh no, not, it's a folder. I want to create a folder, and it's a delete. So let me create a folder D. Okay, so let me call it D slash db.json. So I think we are fine with all this. Okay, so this is const lowdb. Okay, so let's return to our user. Yes, then we have to compute our first this thing, meaning that when somebody posts, okay, let's further do this for get. Yes, so we want press.json. So when a get request is sent to the server, we want a JSON response, db.get, that's a post value. So we are operating within our Lowdb database here. So we are through with that. And then for our post request now, so post, so yeah, let me just use res, no rec, res. So we are going to undo our db.get, so post. So we have to always get data from our database, then we can now use Lowdb Lodash-API method to do what I want to do with it. So and last, so we need to give all our posts a kind of ID. So that's why I'm writing this now. So let's say the ID will be probably, let's say, math.random. So that will be .toString. So then .toSlice. I don't want the 0 point whatever to appear. So let's put it at 2. So it will cut off this the first index and the second index, the 0 and the 1. So we'll start from there. Oh, what is this? Yeah, so math.random to string.slice. So then you have to write dot write. Okay, so we are good. So then in lieu of that, we still have to return something back to the server even after the post has been handled. So we have to do post, that's db.get, that's dot value. So let's try this out. Okay, so that we know that what we are doing is actually, let me try and log rec.body. So this is just in case something goes wrong. So let's go back to our app.js. Okay, this is okay. It's okay, so post, and this is okay now. So let's render our application. Okay, let's go to compile successfully. So npm start. I will need this. Okay, so let's do that now. Let me write, let's say morning, morning laundry. So number one is going to be ironing, of my clothes. Okay, let's say this is what we want to post. What? So that's it. And if you check here, yes, this actually went through post request, and then we have the information here. So sorry, I'm going to do a little bit of styling here. So let's go to our user. Okay, so here, so render, let me see. So I want to do what we call a style component, that is a border. This, let's say 1px solid. Px solid. And padding. So what should we call padding? Here say 15. Okay. So I'm going to use it here. So style. So it will be bold. So then I think I need to even put a kind of HR here. Yeah. Oh, so can you see what has just happened? So we need to bring in a life cycle. We need to bring in a life cycle here. So we need to bring in a life cycle here, so that our application, once it mounts, it can fetch data from the server, then renders it to the client. So we need to do that now. So there is something called a component component did mount in React, component did mount in React. So it actually undo page mounting. So once our component renders to the DOM, then the component did mount will fire. So fetch. So we want to fetch, like sending a get request to the server. So okay, so direct like that, we just have to use then. So then that will be res res.json. This one will be then. So when we here we have to this set state. So we have to bring in that in our post. So we have to put data dot post, then we reverse it. So I think this is okay. Whoa. So canvas is now. So that's it. So money laundry. And this is it. So let me try to add another thing. Let me just see. Evening jams. Let me just films. Yeah, so list of what to do. So now the whole thing is not yet over. Let's try to make it possible for us to be able to modify then delete. So that's all. Then we end the tutorial. So let's quickly do that. Let me go back to my post now and then add some things to it. So here we have to add buttons to this. There is probably we use button as how many buttons do we? Okay, we only need 2, so it will be modify, and then so let's call this one button, this one okay, call it modify, and then we call this one delete. So let's see it here. Okay, so should we so what do we need to do now? Okay, so we have to do the app, which is by when somebody clicks on modify, it will send a message to the it will just get data from our post and then send it to the and then put it inside our text editor, our text area and our input. So we have to do that now. So I want to write the modify method now. Okay, I think what we need to do is that we want to stream by when somebody it will go. So the person will have to click on add again. Then the add we have to go to the server. So I think the first thing I need to do is to create an ID track. So let me just call it this dot ID track. So let's make it like this. So with this now, I can come here and say if id track is equal to yes, empty this thing, then do this, and else then do this. So yes, that's also a problem now. Yeah, so let me go down now. So I'm going to pick this. Okay, I'm going to put it here. So this is going to run normally. So but once our this thing gets filled up, then we know that we are not doing that. So let me still put it here. Then this one, I'll put this one to put. Yeah, so it's going to send a put request like it's trying to update something. So then here now we have to add the ID track here. ID track. So the ID track, or should I call it ID track? No, let me just call it ID. So then it will be this dot ID track. Then that's it. So then okay. So when we get back here, yes, this one we turn to this. Then we have to set back our ID track to ID track. So we have to set our ID track. So sorry, this with ID track. We have to set it back to empty string. Yes. So okay. So I think we are okay with this now. Okay. So for our modify now. So for our modify, what do we do for that? Okay. So yes. So modify now. Okay, let me go to, okay, let me just write it fast here. Modify. So our modify will be, so what I'm going to do, let's try to get our this dot ID track is equal to okay. So we have to get this dot state dot post. So we have to, so let me call this one const extract. We try to extract something here. Okay, so okay, yes, you're on a good track. So const tract. Okay, so that we will not be confused. So my modify, I'm going to put an ID here. So the ID is going to be about x.id. Yeah. So So it's going to be x.id. Yeah. So that's, I think this is what we should do now. Yeah. So, and then should I just okay, so then let me quickly pass my on click here. On click. So then this will be this dot our props. Yeah. So then dot modify. So that's it. So we are through with this section now. So now things are now clearer now. So what we are trying to do now is that, so from our post here now we can do dot filter. So we filter it. So then we see x dot okay, so it will now be x equal to e dot target dot id. So x dot id. Yeah. So I think this is it. Yeah. So let's look at it together. Const extract. So now this is our state. We have been able to capture our state here. That's our post. So there are a lot of data inside here. Then we filter it. Then any one of them that matches this event, that is event.target.id, then bring it out. So when it is brought out, so then we now do extract 0 dot extract dot what, that's 0 dot id. Yeah. So I think with this now we don't have any problem. I want to believe so. We don't have any problem. And then we have to also get our value. So that will be extract 0 dot, what would that be? Title, yeah, title. So okay, so I think I also compute that of delete straight away, and that's content. So I hope there is no mistake. I hope there is no mistake. So now once modify is clicked, this code will run. Then the content will be posted to the text area and the input. So from there we can now manipulate. Okay, so when this one is coming back, it's going to return this. Yes. So let me also go back to this. So what we did for this place, so let's do it to id is equal to, so that's x dot id, then our on click, so it's going to be so that's going to be this dot props dot remove. So let's just remove. Can use delete. Delete is an operator in JavaScript. So remove. So we are good to go. So we come here. So then don't let us forget there are some things we have to be very careful of here when we are writing code. We have to bind our this here. We have to come here to modify. So then this will be modify. Then this is remove. And then this is remove. So we are okay here to this point. So we have add method here. We have modify here. So then here we have to put our remove method. So for remove, how do we go about that? So remove, we have to send an information to the server straight. So we have to bring in our fetch. Okay, let me just copy one of those things here. Okay, let me copy this. So we bring it down here. So we put it here. So this will be delete. So it's going to send a delete request to this server. In that wise, we don't need this. We only need the ID. So the ID, which is e.target.id, right? Yeah. So it's going to send that one to the server, and then when it comes back, okay, we don't need this one again. And when it comes back to, it's going to be like, yeah. So and then cancel. So remove, and then we have to come back here. Then we now have to pass our props to our child component. So the first one, this is post. The second one is remove, right? Remove, which is this dot remove, right? Yes, remove. Yeah, that's it. This dot remove. Then our post. Okay, then modify to modify, and this dot modify. So now let's go to our server. Okay, let's check through if there's any problem. So once it's updated, okay, once it's updates, so notify, then this changes it back. Okay, so I think it's okay. I don't think there's any problem here. I think we are okay. Okay, so we have to go back to the server now to compute our put and our delete request. So let's go to user now. So let me just copy this now and then delete. So this is going to be put. So for our put request now, we just okay, let's leave it there for debugging rider. So then there is after we get it, then okay, yes, there is okay. So now let me just cancel this alone. So after getting this, a method called find. So when you want to actually look for the ID that looks like what is coming from the client ID. So then when start is cutting, then we assign the content to title. So that is rec.body.title, and then the content goes here, rec.body.content. So then don't forget our right. So then we still fire our response back to the server. So that is put. So now for delete to, let's do same. So for find, yes, for find, then there's a method called so is it okay, we just remove straight. So it is just remove. We have a method like that called remove. So the remove tool, we remove the ID coming to from this body.id. So then our right. So basically, when our server receives a GET request from the client, it sends back the ID, the title, and the content. So, and this is what we render to our client as the ID, as the content and as the title. So let's try out what we have done. Okay, so let me edit track is not defined. Edit track is not defined. I'm coming. Okay, line 32 edit track is not defined. Line 32 app, line 32. Oh, sorry, this not ID. So do you still have any problem? Okay, so we are okay now. So let's try to modify. What should I add to this? So playing about watching films, then let's modify. Let's see if that has occurred. Yes, can you see it here? So let me add the third list, and that's a sleeping. So then we add that. Oh, what is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Okay. Oh, sorry. We need to restart my server. You know, I'm not actually a node demon, I'll be node mono. So we'll try the modify and the delete method. Okay, so we want to modify. So the third one. So wow, can see it here now. Sleeping. We have successfully modified this. So let's say we want to delete this. Okay, let me just type something then try to delete that. Let me just say last Saturday of June. I will travel to Poland. Last Saturday of June, I will travel to Poland. Then let's delete this. There is a problem somewhere. The delete is not working. So what's going on? Let's try to check that out. So let's try to see what's going on. Okay, so that's remove here. So ID track. So then remove here. So send the request ID. So when's that request sent? So that's it. Then remove. Then in our post, this problem remove, and the button to us x.id. Apparently. So let's look at this. Ooh, nice mistake here, right? And that singular mistake is this. Delete. So this router.delete, yes, post request remove, and that's all. So let me restart my server now. Okay, application is ready, so let's do this. Whoa, so it has gone. So we are left with evening times. So, and this brings us to the end of the tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Make Them Tech. We bring to you powerful tutorial, programming tutorial. We are after that goal of making you become a guru. So please share this video and also subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell. So thank you.